Hi Keith, a great result for us tonight against Wexford. Good to see for us to get 5 goals, clean sheet. Everybody played well. Look, there's not really much. It's great to get a result. It's great to get a win. We need to get, like I said last week, we need to get a couple of wins together. Everybody played well tonight. There was a couple I could have picked up on a couple of things, but look, the most important thing tonight was that everybody seemed to be on the same wavelength. And it's great to get a win. I can't really say no more than that. As I said, look, I thought at the start we could have conceded there after a couple of minutes again, and I was like, here we go again. But after 11 minutes there, when Keane Murphy scored, it kind of opened the floodgates, and City were very good after that. So as I said, look, you can only beat who's in front of you. It's nice to get a win. 2 tough games in front of us there away to UCD and then Galway, so it's all about getting the 3 points. And like every week when I come on, there's 2 things I hope for. A City winning, and I do the Euro Millions every Friday night, and try and get something on that. But the most important thing tonight was that City won, 3 points, clean sheet, 5 goals, which is always important to score goals, but I still won fuck all in the Euro Millions. Great to get a win. Fantastic. Thanks, Keith.
Hey guys, Bray Wanderers only got their first win this season. I just 1 second need to play a song. Yeah, 2-1 win in AMDC Park against Galway United. Fantastic result. Possibly will get Bray's season started after 5 draws and a loss in their first 6 games. Joe Doyle opened the scoring after 6 minutes. Cross into Joe. His first effort was parried by Conor Kearns, and he followed his shot up and scored into an empty net. Bray could have doubled their lead on 10 minutes. Luka directed a cross onto the post, and in the immediate aftermath of that, Bray had a penalty shout turned down. Dylan Burnett was barged over, but the referee actually gave a free out, which was a bit of a dodgy decision. Galway started coming into the game after about 30 minutes, and on 34 minutes, Rory Keating converted a cross. His first effort was, again, like Joe Doyle's in the first few minutes. His first effort was parried by Rory Marr, and the follow-up was bundled into the net. Second half didn't live up to much. Gary Shaw came off the bench on 56 minutes, and then Galway brought a bit of firepower on. Pádraig Cunningham and Mikey Rowe came on for them. But Gary Shaw won the game for Bray in the 92nd minute. Joe Doyle won a corner on the Bray Wanderers right hand side. Brandon Kavanagh floated the ball in, and Gary Shaw converted to the net with a fine header. It's a fantastic result for Bray and Galway. Their next three games are crucial against Cabinteely, against Wexford and against Treaty. No disrespect to those teams, but Bray really should be looking to pick up full points in all 3 of those games, which will set them up nicely for the second series of games. Finish here. Thank God Bray Wanderers get their first win of the season. Galway 1, Bray Wanderers 2.
Alright lads, what's happening just after watching Derry's match against Longford? I thought Derry, I thought we didn't play too bad. We could have played a lot better, of course, but overall I thought Derry were a better team. We deserved the win. We were all over them, especially our first half and most of the second. Longford didn't really cause us any problems. The goal they scored was their only real chance and should have been avoided. Just absolute shocking mistake, defending, and then the likes of Gardside, pure misreading it. The header from Malone as well. So it should have just been avoided, but no. Overall, Derry deserved the 3 points, I thought. Patchin played amazing. Thought Akintunde played really well as well. He absolutely ran off his feet. So it's pure deserved his goal. The one real thing that's just bothering me with Derry, I know Derry, we've always liked our youngsters, bringing youngsters through. Boyce is playing amazing at the minute, so it's really, really liking him. But just we've nothing on the bench or anything. So the likes of I think that's going to be our main problem this year, with the likes of we're going to pick up results and stuff, but I can't wait till we start getting Higgins starts to get more players that he wants for the team, and the likes of just for more depth, because everyone we have to look to, it's all 18-year-olds, things like that there, and I would dread if we ever picked up a good few injuries and things like that there. But I know overall, since Higgins came on, I'm overall happy, and we roll on the Rovers. Hopefully we can nick a draw or something. Come on, Derry.
Hi guys, just after watching the Dundalk Sligo game there, Sligo winning out 1-0 in Oriel Park. Well, it's Dundalk again, isn't it? We're just not clicking this season at all, not doing right at all. So the first half, we weren't good at all. No, Sligo deserved to be 1-0 up. I do think, though, the referee got it wrong. I think Buckley should have been sent off in the first half. He did eventually get sent off, but he should have been gone in the first half. Now, the goal, don't get me wrong, he well taken down, got past the defenders, well done out. The striker done everything well. It was a very good finish. Cherry, though, was he about 35 yards out? Cherry should not have been beaten from that distance. No, there was no one in front of him. He'd seen the ball all the way. He should have caught it. He should have not caught it, but he should have hit it away. In the second half, then when Buckley getting sent off early on, I thought, right, here we go. Bring on McElhenney, bring on Kelly, bring on the speed, bring on the play. And for some reason, they took Chris Shields off to bring on McElhenney when they did eventually. I didn't see that. I think it should have been Murray. It would have been, I think, better. Shite, at least he would have had more control in the midfield then with Chris Shields and Zahibo. But Dundalk were just so weak today. There's no fighting them at all, so it wasn't today. I think our first real chance came in the 92nd minute. And that was from a holding midfielder. That's not good enough. So things have to change. We're going to Finn Harps now next. And no offence to Finn Harps, but a couple of years, like last time they were in the Premier League, we would have been going up to everyone. I don't even know if I bother going to the game. We would have won 4-0 easily enough. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch it. Will they beat us 4-0? Something has to change. I've said this before. Thanks very much, lads.
So, just finishing Oriel Park, 1-0 to Sligo Rovers against Dundalk. Fantastic 3 points, especially going out to 10 men so early on in the second half. I think it was important that we held on, conceding late goals against, Pats and then Shams early on in the season. I was always worried, it was one of the longest second halves I've watched in quite a while. But overall, I thought first half quite good. Both teams played quite well. Dundalk had their fair share of chances, to be fair to them. Junior having a couple of chances, a couple of pop shots, nothing really to test McGinty. And also I thought Murray for Dundalk was one of their better players, very, very bright. But overall, I thought we did well. Thought we deserved to go 1-0 up. Gibson, great strike. People saying Sherry probably could have done a bit better, and he probably could have, to be fair to him. But he probably wasn't in the best of form coming into the game. A couple of howlers there last week. And listen, I thought I deservedly went 1-0 up. I thought Morahan for us was very bright, and so was Figuera. Figuera, he didn't get off to the best of starts with us this season, but he's really coming into form now. Unlucky not to score as well, rattling the crossbar, had the keeper bet. Look, 1-0 going into half time I thought was a deserved result. Dundalk did have their chances, but nothing really, testing the keeper. They kind of lacking a bit of conviction. Second half then, I was surprised how the way Dundalk started the second half. I thought they'd really come for us now, being 1-0 down at home. I thought they'd really pressed on, try to look for an equaliser. But I thought Sligo kind of brought the game to Dundalk really in the second half, early on anyways. Having their chances, Kenny having a couple of chances, Gibson as well. Parks is a difficult one because we know how good Parks can be, but this season has just been very poor, just lacking the conviction, very sloppy, giving away easy passes. It's kind of been a bit lazy, to be honest, and it's frustrating because we know how good he can be. 2 seasons ago, absolutely fantastic for us before he had to go out on loan. We all know what he's capable of, and I was hoping for more of him. He looked disappointed when he had to get taken off for the Buckley sending off. And listen, hopefully we get to see more of him, because we know how good he can be. That's what's frustrating about it. But yeah, Buckley getting sending off, I think it's a deserved. I can't have any complaints with the sending off, because at the end of the day, high foot hits him in the face. It's the second yellow. We got a yellow in the first half. I don't think we can have any complaints, really, to be honest. I thought how we managed the game with 10 men, should be talked about a bit more. Absolutely fantastic. At the back, Shane Blaney coming on into centre half. Absolutely fantastic performance, I thought. As well, at the back, Robbie McCourt played quite well. But Lewis Banks, I think, absolutely phenomenal. He stopped Duffy a couple of times with a couple of great blocks. It's only his second start of the season. And there's a lot more coming from Banks, I'm sure of it. He's a fantastic player. We all know that. Player of the season a couple of years ago at us. And hopefully a couple of niggles there last year in pre-season. And hopefully, he'll be back to full fitness and back to, the fullback that we know he can be, because he's an absolutely fantastic player. Listen, overall though, delighted to get the 3 points. Tough place to go, Oriel Park, and especially going out to 10 men. It's never going to be easy. But I thought we did held out quite well. McGinty making some great saves at the end, keeping us in it. He saved us. He got us the 3 points, in my opinion. Arguably man of the match. Fantastic 3 or 4 saves at the end. Overall, though, delighted. Couple of very good performances. There's a lot of stuff that still needs to be worked on. But listen, still a fantastic start to the season. Up in third place, keeping up with Pats and Shams. That's all we want. And looking forward to Waterford now next week.
Full time in the RSC in probably the weirdest game of football I've ever watched. A 7-0 win for Drogheda United against Waterford FC's under-19s. Very strange build up to the game with Waterford, of course, as everybody knows, getting the COVID outbreak. We ended up seeing Drogheda take to the field. It was the experience of the likes of Gary Deegan, Dane Massey in that Drogheda starting 11 that really kind of proved the difference between the sides. Waterford side though, Callum Stringer and Lekin Oki, really impressed me today. Goals from Dara Markey, I have them written down because there's so many of them. Dara Markey on 16 minutes scored. He won the ball back from sloppy pass from Waterford, about 30 yards out. Ball managed to just bounce through from him. He was in one-on-one with the goalkeeper and just buried it from a tight angle. Really good finish. Second goal came just 7 minutes later when Mark Doyle stole a march on his marker from a Jake Highland corner, volleyed it home on his left foot. Dane Massey then was the next one to get on the score sheet on 25 minutes when Mark Doyle played a beautiful through ball to him and he just slotted home past the goalkeeper. Chris Lyons was next to get in on the act. Dan O'Reilly, who was absolutely fantastic all day, played a beautiful over the top crossfield ball to James Brown, who in turn chipped a bit to the back post, and Chris Lyons had a free header at the back post. 4-0 after 37 minutes. It was a tough watch, I'd say, if you're a Waterford fan. Chris Lyons then on 44 minutes got fouled, slotted home the penalty with ease. Dane Massey scored on 74 from a Deegan cross. It was a beautiful strike from Massey on the volley about 6 yards out at an angle, and then Killian Phillips on 86 made it 7 and an absolute rout. It was a very strange game. I'm not sure how to feel. Didn't really learn much from Drogheda, but again, it's a win, it's goals, goal difference, it's a clean sheet. We'll take it, we'll move on. We'll take that and move on to the next game next week against Pats at home.
So full time and 7-0 win, but there's no really way to spin that. You can't really blame the players too much. They for them to go out there, even to be on the same field as them, was like a total mismatch. I thought it'll be an experience for it'll be some experience for them. Whether or not that turns out to be anything good, I don't know. I think, once again, there's off-field problems with the club. I'm kind of getting sick of saying it now. I don't really want to talk about it, but the club made a very misleading statement in relation to what was actually going on and why the under-19s were out in the field. It was to do with COVID, but they failed to mention that there was a positive COVID case in the camp. Why, I don't know. But yeah, that happened. As far as the performance, yeah, look, Drogheda deserved to win. Fair play to Tim Clancy, class act in the league. He came into the players after the game and addressed them. But yeah, look, the scoreline was fair. You can't rag on the players. The first game they played in 5 months, and it was a baptism of fire for them. So with Sligo coming up, it looks like they're going to have to play the under-19s again. It's endemic of problems that persist off the field at Waterford, and until there's change off the field, we won't see any significant change on the field, and if that doesn't happen, well, then it's hard to see us staying up. So aside from that, not much I can say.
Hi everyone, Daz here from Bohemian FC fan group. I'm actually tonight to our 4-0 win over Finn Harps. So going up against Finn Harps tonight, it's going to be a sketchy one. Finn Harps are doing very well of late, as we all know, and they're no pushover. They're very hard to play against, and obviously we have been in the best of forms ourselves, and we really needed a win tonight, because if we had lost or drew tonight, we would have been in trouble. Well, the table stuck in the points that we have. But we ran up with a 4-0 win, and we scored 3 goals in the first half, one in the second half. Very late injury time goal, keep Buckley. Tierney and Coote got the goals in the first half, and Buckley got the goal in the second half. For the first half, we dominated. We played really, really well, and the boys worked really well as a unit, and defended really good, and got stuck in, got their goals, we took our chances, but it certainly wasn't a 10 out of 10 performance like people have been saying on the group. By no means, Finn Harps didn't actually play it that badly, that people might think that they did. They had chances and they didn't take it. Fully and he was inside the box, 6 or 7 yards out, and put it really wide, and they got in a few times and they could have had a few goals, but they just didn't take their chances or take their shots. By no means, they didn't play that bad at all. We just took our chances and we're the better team overall. Going into the second half then, we kind of took our foot off the pedal a little bit, and it was kind of more of see the game out and grind the results out. We were 3-0 up, we were cruising, keep Long didn't want to change much, understandably, and he didn't change too much. Here he's on the bench, he was left there. We seen the game out. Harps had come back into it and had a spell in the second half where they were getting forward and they were putting balls through and they were getting in, but we seen it out. Talbot made a very good save. He hadn't got too much to do with the game, which was really, really good to see. And then Keith Buckley got a really good goal at the end. Overall, I'm very happy. Probably our best performance of the season. 4 goals, clean sheet, and a win at home. Excellent performance, and really, really well done to the lads. And we really needed that win tonight. We just needed to get a win, and get that win. Up next up now is Longford, and hopefully get a win against them.
Okay, final score this evening from Dillon Park. A very disappointing result for Finn Harps tonight, as they got beat 4-0 by Bows. Bows played really well tonight, but I thought the goals that we could see were really, really poor. 2 goals by Ali Coote, the player saved from Waterford, Buckley, their captain, and Ross Tierney. Harps created a few chances in the second half. It could have been a 3-all game at the second half, but unfortunately we just didn't take our chances. It wasn't meant to be our night. But the players are still on the high from Monday night, as the fans have been as well. But there's other games coming up now. We should be aiming for the points, especially now on Friday night in Finn Park against Dundalk, Drogheda, and Water for the next 3 games for Harps. We can write this one off. All I say is that Bulls are going to collect, and unfortunately collect this evening. But overall, Harps were playing well this season, and we should be happy as where we should be. And as I said before, up the Harps.
Evening, guys. So just finished watching the Pats and Rovers game. 2-1 to Rovers final score. Heartbreaking for Lee Desmond at the end there, because he has been fantastic for Pats all season. Bad mistake to give away. On the balance of play, in my opinion, they created a lot more chances. But it was a fairly even game. I think the goals Pats gave away, I don't want to criticise the goalkeeper, but I think he could have done better with both, to be honest. Beating his near post for the first one, it was a great strike by Graham Burke, but and I think the second one it kind of goes under him. But again, you have to have the issue with Lee Desmond giving the ball away to Mandrew in the first place. Another goal for Chris Forrester is a positive. Overall, it's disappointing. Would have taken a draw at the start, at kick-off, but I said this in the supporters group. I don't think anybody would have expected Pats to be where they are at the moment. I certainly didn't at the start of the season. I was kind of thinking, if we're about 4th or 5th after 10 games, maybe we can get Europe. I still think I now think we will get Europe, but we have to keep going. We've got a few injuries now as well, but look, the very even game, just really disappointing. Draw would have been a super result, but we've let them get a march on us, but it's only a blip. We'll be back next week. So yeah, cheers lads, and hope you enjoyed the game.
Alright everyone, Keith asked me to do the match reaction as a Rovers fan for the Southside Derby, which we just won 2-1. A very scrappy game to start off with. Pat's getting that goal in the 4th minute through Chris Forrester, and Rovers pulling it back in the 41st minute with Graham Burke. And then Rovers with a last minute winner, as we do, from Danny Mandrew, which was a bit of skill. He did do a first bit running and then slotted a home past Jaros. If it started off scrappy, it went off the boil a bit towards half time, and then after half time, Pats looked a better side for a majority of the second half. There was times where Rovers were in it and times where Rovers laid back. I thought Rovers' defence was much better today than the past few games. I think that we are missing Cavo, and we will miss Cavo until he's back, but Scales is not an adequate replacement for that side. I think that Pats played alright today. I think they were missing Paddy Barrett, and I think they were missing Robbie Benson. Jason McKellen, the lad that came on for only 10 minutes and then went off injured, sympathies to him, because he's only back from an injury and now he has to go off again with an injury. Reminds me a lot of Frugia with the injuries. But I do think that Rovers looked okay today. We looked better. We played better than most of the games so far, but still, we always left it late, and we always will leave it late to get a goal. It's the sign of Champions League, and I'm not being cocky when I'm saying it is the sign of champions when you get a goal in the last few minutes to either pull your team back into it or win the game. It reminds me a lot of the 2010-2011 side where Aidan Price and Stephen Bradley himself said, you leave it to the last few minutes and Twiggy would always get a winner. Now, we don't have a player like Twiggy at the moment, but it's multiple different players. Danny's done that twice now, out in Pats now and up in Drogheda. Gaffney got the late equaliser out in the showgrounds. Another good few players have got late equalisers and late winners. It is something that's happening very regularly now, but still, I'd much rather the 3 points than being baffled at a 1-1 draw. I'd much rather we have Derry next week and then Sligo and Dundalk the week after. So a tough few games. I know that people are rooting off Derry, but they look actually alright under Rory Higgins. So tough 3 games coming up. But if we power through them and we get to June, hopefully we'll be back in soon enough and fans will be able to start going to games again. Maybe not as regularly as we all want. Maybe that'll be next season, if not the end of this season. But it'll be nice to hear a bit of atmosphere from fans, because we are all missing it. Even look at today on the comeback, it just looked empty. And I know it always will look like that, but it just looked empty from my perspective, because the only time I saw it was on the stream last year on Watch LOI, and the standard of the coverage wasn't great last year compared to this year. But now, all in all, a great performance from both sides, in my opinion. Rovers were okay, but had great patches in the game. Pats looked overall good, and like I said before, that Pats were the side that just shows that they can put it to Rovers, and teams can put it to Rovers. Just teams need to find a player that finishes, and Forrester done that in the first few minutes. But all in all, a great performance from both sides in the Southside Derby. But we got 3 points, and that is 32 games now unbeaten.